And then as I'm going to be your guide. I will be doing the commentary during the rickshaw bus tour. And this is the starting point of our tour, as well as this is the ending point of our tour. From here, we're going to head to the south direction of the beachfront area, all the way down to uShaka Marine. From uShaka Marine, we'll drive through the Point waterfront area. After the Point waterfront area, then we'll drive through the city central. After the city central drive, we are going to have a 30-minute break stop at the City View Shopping Center. That is where you'll be able to buy refreshments, and you'll also be able to utilize the restrooms. After that, we'll continue to the second section of the tour. On the second section of the tour, we'll be driving through the Durban suburb area, the Berea, the Morningside, as well as the Overport. At the Morningside suburb area, we'll have a 10-minute break at a place called by the Cube, which is an open landscaping viewpoint, which will be giving us a better overview of the city of Durban, as well as key iconic features within the city of Durban. After that, we're going to continue, drive through Florida Road, past the Most Barbados Stadium, drive through the Blue Lagoon, and return by the north direction all the way down. So this is the starting point of our tour, as well as this is the ending point of our tour. As when the rickshaw bus tour, there are a number of rules and cautions that you need to take note of. Please take note that you are not allowed to smoke on this bus or to take any alcohol items as well. For those that are sitting in an open space of the bus, you need to keep your eyes open. Some of the tree branches, they're in the same height with the bus. They might touch you, especially those that are sitting on the rail side of the bus. Please keep your eyes open. For those that are wearing caps, hats, please ensure that you fasten your caps as well as your hat. If your cap or hat is blown out by the wind, you won't be able to stop because you might cause traffic or cause an accident. So please ensure that your caps or your hats, they are tight enough. Alright, today it's very hot. We are currently sitting on 28 degrees Celsius, so it's very, very hot. It's going to be very, very heating up here as we are sitting in an open space. There is no other shade except the small wind that we're going to get along the way. But if you have any problems along the way, let's say feeling dizzy, nausea, just alert me time so that we can see what we can do. Alright, we have our driver, Monty most gonna be driving us on the rickshaw bus tour. I'd like to welcome you official of the rickshaw bus tour, welcoming you in the beautiful city of Durban. The tour is approximately 3 hours. We're gonna be finishing around 4 o'clock. Is anyone who will be rushing to take a flight or a bus after the tour, in case if we have a delay along the way? Is anyone here on the bus who will be rushing to take a flight or a bus after the tour in case if we delay? Alright, thank you. Alright, the bus, this is the city sighting tour. Alright, I know you've come as friends, relatives, we used to communicate. Whenever you're communicating with someone next to you, please try to speak soft as much as you can. I'm not saying that you should not talk, but when you talk, please bear in mind that there are other people that are listening. So lower your voice as much as you can. Alright, we have started our tour. This is a city sighting tour. This is a tour that is there to give you an insight of what is happening within the city of Durban, places of interest that you can visit, as well as activities that you can enjoy while you're around here in the beautiful city of Durban. The bus, it is called by the Durban rickshaw bus. It's named after the two rickshaw carriages. So you can see there on the promenade, there is the rickshaw puller there. It's pulling through, and that was the only transport around the of 1893. So today it serves as part of our Durban icon. It's one of the experiences. You can see there is someone who's riding there on the two rickshaw carriage. So they charge you according to the distance that you wish to travel. The two rickshaw carriage, they normally park ahead on the circle. I will point, I will show you where they normally park if you wish to enjoy the ride on the two-wheel rickshaw carriage. That is the main experience that you can enjoy, or other experience that you can enjoy along the stretch of the beachfront area. The city of Durban, this is a city that has two names. It has an English name as well as a Zulu name. An English name which was named in honor of Mr. Sir Benjamin D. Eben. Mr. Sir Benjamin D. Eben was a Cape Governor during the year of 1835. So the word Durban was taken from his surname, Mr. Sir Benjamin D. Eben. The second name of the city is called by Itev. Itev is a Zulu word that describes the Berea Lagoon. The word Itev, which has been adopted by our municipality, called by Etegwini municipality. On the left across, we have one of the lowest swimming pools, which caters young children whenever they come to swim here on the stretch of the beachfront area, toddlers as well as young children. On the left, on the pavement area, we are having traditional market vendors. These traditional market vendors, they sell items such as beadwork, arts and crafts, swimming costume, as well as other African traditional items that you can use to decorate your home or to decorate your house. We are now in a circle which is popular known as the two-wheel rickshaw carriage parking circle. The two-wheel rickshaw carriage, this is where they normally park here on the left. It was introduced by Sir Marshall Campbell during the year of 1893. Sir Marshall Campbell, he saw the idea in Japan and then he came back here in the city of Durban to introduce the two-wheel rickshaw carriage. This open land here on the left-hand side, that is where a number of outdoor events are taking place on this open land here on our left-hand side. Alright, on the right, we have the green and the white bus over there, and that is called by the People Mover Commuters Transport. It's one of the main cheapest and the safest public transport that you can use while you're around here in the beautiful city of Durban. These buses, the only operating here at the city central. They are having 3 routes within the city central. There is a beachfront area route, the called waterfront area route, as well as the city central route. It's easy to spot or identify the top of the People Mover bus. You will see with the sign with the post written People Mover bus. That is where you can hop on as well as hop off on the People Mover bus. A single trip costs you 7 rand per person. A ticket that you can use to hop on and hop off, it costs you 17 rand each. Some of the places that I've been highlighting during the tour, you can use those buses to move around here at the city central of Durban. Right, as we drive on the stretch of the Golden Mile, on the right hand side we'll be passing residential apartments, holiday apartments, as well as restaurants located on our right hand side. You'll also notice the guys that are carrying 5 liters empty containers of water around here at the stretch of the beachfront area. These guys, they use these empty containers of water to fill the seawater. When they fill the seawater, they are normally selling it to the visitors that are visiting here in the stretch of the Golden Mile. There is a belief which says the seawater chases away the bad evil, the bad luck, the bad cases, including the tuberculosis. That is the reason why a lot of people, they purchase the seawater and then take it back at home. Some, they utilize it as a lightning conductor. If there is a thunderstorm, then they put it in front of the door. There is a belief that it chases away the lightning. And then that is the reason why people, they purchase or they buy the seawater. Whenever you are buying the seawater, you must ensure that there is a sea sand inside the container. Because there's a superstitious belief which says if there's no sea sand, the seawater will disappear and then return back to the ocean. So that's why whenever people are collecting water, they also put the sea sand inside the container. Alright, up there on the bluff, there's a tower showing a green light there up on the bluff. Later I'll talk about the function of that tower or the role of that tower that is showing a green light. If you are looking on the sea, you see that there are floating red balls. If you look carefully, you will see these floating red balls. These floating red balls, they are lining along the KZN coastal land beaches. Under these red balls, there are nets that are being installed by the KZN transport. Every morning, they check these nets or they assess these nets. If they catch marine fish on this net, they don't kill it, but they take it so that they are able to trace the movement of the shark species. These nets, they have devices which are known as a drum line. Drum line, they signal the KZN transport whenever there's a heavy item that is caught with the net. Then they will come and release it. So every morning they check these nets. These nets are there to ensure the safety of the swimmers as well as the sailors that are coming to swim in the stretch of the beachfront area. On the right, the tallest building that is called by the Eddington Hospital. That is the second site of the Eddington Hospital. The first site is used to be located in Victoria Embankment, which is currently known as Margaret Avenue. They moved into the current location during the year of 1879. So that is a public hospital that functions under the Department of Health of South Africa under the slogan called Fiber Topile, which means putting people first. Now right, the green building with a dark front roof, this used to be the Eddington Children's Hospital. The building is no longer being used, but there are plans to revamp it so that it can rank as KwaZulu-Natal Children's Hospital. The building itself is part of our National Monument building. Due to its own architectural style, the use of stone bricks, the way the building has been built. On the left, we have these doors that are lining along the stretch of the beachfront area. On these doors, you can hire cargo cars and boats that you can use here on the stretch of the Golden Mile. We are currently exiting the Eddington suburb area. We are heading now to uShaka Marine. uShaka Marine is located on the 12 o'clock direction. uShaka Marine was officially opened in 2004 in April. It consists of 8 different sections, including uShaka Beach. The section that we're facing here in front, it's known as the wet and wild section. The Wet and Wild section, it has slides, swimming pools, then you can troop in between. You can enjoy riding tubes here on the swimming pools as well, floating tubes, as well as enjoying various slides. It is built in a form of a jungle. It's imitating the jungle style. Ahead on the left, there's an entrance to another section, which is called by the Sea World. The entrance, it is designated for school buses. Whenever the school, they are visiting the Sea World section. At the Sea World, there is an underground aquarium built around 5 shipwreck. The ship is called by the Phantom. It has an above entry as well as the top entry. At the Sea World, you'll find the Dolphin Stadium. You see that big white stretch tent there on the far left. It is where the dolphin show is taking place 3 times per day. It's whereby the dolphins are dancing, showing us their skill, their creativity, and how they are communicating with humans as well. It is one of the most entertaining shows that you should not miss while you're around here in the beautiful city of Durban. The first show is taking place around 11:30. The second show is taking place around 1 o'clock. And then the third show is taking place around 3 o'clock. It's whereby the dolphins are dancing, showing us their skills, their creativity, and how they are communicating with humans as well. It is one of the most entertaining shows that you should not miss while you're around here in the beautiful city of Durban. You'll also find the aquarium educational center at the Sea World. There is well get a chance to see marine creatures, crab, fish, shark species. Some of the shark species that are kept inside the uShaka Marine, there is a racket tooth shark, the hammerhead shark, the local cat shark, and the spinner shark. Those are the shark species you'll get a chance to visit to see when you are visiting inside the uShaka Marine. Now, we have joined the King Shara Avenue. The King Shara Avenue is taking us straight to the main entrance of uShaka Marine. Here at the main entrance of uShaka Marine, there is a big jaws here of the big shark species, which is called by the megalodon. The megalodon was once a shark species that was existing in our ocean number of years ago. So these big jaws over here, they are commemorating the life of the megalodon shark species. Also take note that uShaka Marine, it is built in a form of a Zulu homestead, which we call it by Umuzi in Zulu. So these big thatched domes, they imitating the Zulu Rondaville architecture style. We call them by Obuka standards, made by the skeleton wood, pole, as well as with the thatched grass. Inside here to uShaka Marine, there are also other sections such as uShaka Village Walk. At uShaka Village Walk, you can enjoy Nabuden shopping, ranging in number of retails, clothing retails, fast food retails, as well as curious shops that are located inside here to uShaka Marine. uShaka Marine forms a part of the top attractions within the city of Durban, as well as within the beautiful province of KwaZulu-Natal. The Wet and Wild section. So you can buy the ticket to visit both sections, promo price. I think it will be ending around the end of January. So, but now they are running specials where you can buy a ticket to visit both sections. So you are saving almost like 50% of the amount. Right, those are the people mover buses, the one that I talked about. You can use those buses to move around here at the city central, because they only operate here at the city central. Alright, here in front we have the building called by the Spinnaker. This is a private residential building, which is also being used as a holiday place as well. So the building is called by the Spinnaker. The same architectural company that designed the Ocean Mall, which is located at the start. It is the same architectural company that designed the building that is called by the Spinnaker. Right now, we are driving through the Point Waterfront area. Point Waterfront area, this is the oldest urban area here in the city of Durban. This is the area where you will notice number of old buildings. These old buildings, they are protected by the Department of Heritage as well as Overport Trust, because they serve as part of our heritage, and they also narrate our history. In order to demolish these buildings, we need to get a permission from the Department of Heritage as well as Overport Trust. Here in front, we have the red brick building with the tall windows at the top. This used to be the Point Prison cell. Opposite, it used to be the Point Prison Administrative Building, which was there. By the they are there to ensure the safety of the dwellers, the learners, the visitors. They are basically here to help with the public. There are a number of programs that are applying in the area such as playground music, this province and down here before waterfront, as well as other roads. Also a residential apartment, which they have been renovated. They have been given a modern look in order to meet the modern current lifestyle standards. On our left bottom, there is a small water canal. On this small water canal, you can hire those black gondola boats on the left, the yellow black boats there on the far left back, including the stand-up kind of boats. You can enjoy the ride of these boats here in the stretch of the small water canal. You'll find the service provider for this boat ride located there inside uShaka Marine. On the far left, we have the Point Beach, the Point Waterfront Era Promenade, a recent extension of the Beachfront Era Promenade from there to uShaka Marine all the way up to the port mouth. Now, right, we have the first two buildings. This is the home of the Zulu newspaper called by Ilanga Lasenadal. Ilanga newspaper was founded in the year of 1903 by Dr. John Langalbale Dube. Dr. John Langalbale Dube was the first African Durbanites to receive an overseas education at the Oblique College in USA, and also was the first president of the African National Congress, the ANC, which used to be the ruling party. This house, it has been converted into the public museum. That is where you find the curator there on site who will take you through the life of Dr. John Langalbale Dube. That is where our first democratic president, Dr. Nelson Mandela, decided to cast his first democratic vote during the first historical election of the year 1994. So his house, one of the places of interest that you can visit, part of Inanda township tourism route. Dr. John Langalbale Dube was born on the 11th of February, who also died on the 11th of February. Same date, Dr. Nelson Mandela was also released in prison on the 11th of February. Right in front, we have the port mouth. This is where ships enter as well as exiting in our Durban port. That's why the area is known as the port mouth. Right, this is where ships enter as well as exiting here in our Durban port. The Durban port was officially established in the year of 1824 by the British delegation led by Sir King James and Henry Francis Field. To open a trading post known as the Durban Harbour or as the Durban. King Shah by that time, who was killed by his half brother, who was really assassinated. So those Englishmen, they gave him the medical treatment, and then they gave them the land as a gratitude, and then they opened a trading post, currently known as the Durban Harbour or as the Durban Port. Behind us, this is the Point Beach, the Point Waterfront Era Promenade, which you can also visit. On the far right, there is the Most Mabhida Stadium, there on the far right. We're still going to see the Most Mabhida Stadium in a closer range on the second session of the tour. So we're still going to be driving closer to the Most Mabhida Stadium on the second session. So there's a football game that is taking place there today between Amazulu FC as well as the TS Galaxy, those teams that are playing on the National Premier Soccer League divisions. On the left up there, up on the hill, on the bluff, there's a tower showing a green light. The tower is called by the Millennium Tower. It is the one that controls entering as well as exiting of the ship in our Durban port. Whenever the tower displays a red light, it tells us it gives a permission for the ship to exit. When it displays a green light, it tells us it gives a permission for the ship to enter. It is the one that controls entering as well as exiting of the ship in our Durban port. There are people that are working on that tower. We call those people by the port traffic controllers. They are the ones that are controlling the traffic there inside of the Durban port. So as it is showing a green light, which means that the ship that is coming to enter or it has already entered. On our left, this is the Point Waste Management Center, which has been given a nice look. The smell will tell that it's still working the Waste Management Center, although it has been given a nice look. Alright, here in front, we have the round concrete structure. This is called by the Season Retaining Center. This is a center that is there to keep the season level balance inside here, the port. It works in line with the black pipes that are located there in the beachfront area. It is there to ensure that whenever ships are traveling, they don't get stuck in the season. On our right, we have the office of the company called by the Loudman. This is a company that produces matches, and then this is their Durban base offices. On the left and across, we have those white and the brown towers. There is where we find the Durban Chemical Terminal as well as the Durban Petroleum Terminal. Here on our left hand side, this is the Nelson Mandela Cruise Terminal. This is a recently constructed cruise terminal which has welcomed a number of international cruise ships such as the MSC, the Queen Mary 2, the Norwegian Cruise, the Vasco da Gama, the Stella Ada, as well as other notable international cruise ships. They have dock here at the Nelson Mandela Cruise Terminal. Currently in South Africa, we are in the cruise season. The cruise season starts in the month of November all the way up to the end of April. That is when you're expecting to see cruise ships coming to dock here at the Nelson Mandela Cruise Terminal. So a lot of people they enjoy MSC rides, they've been in and out. So I think it should be ending around the end of April. That is when the last cruise, that's when the cruise season will end. Across on the left, there is a heavy duty machinery terminal. There is a terminal that deals with the heavy duty items. If you see trucks that are carrying abnormal loads, most of those abnormal loads they pick it up here on the left at the heavy duty machinery terminal. Right before the traffic lights on the left, there is a Silver Dome building. This is a public restroom that was built during the 1940s. Even today, the building is still like as a public restroom, although it was built in the year of 1914, located here on our left-hand side. On the left across, we have the first railway station that was officially opened in 26 June during the 1860. This railway was starting from here all the way up to Transvaal. There is a plaque here on the wall on the left that commemorates the 150th anniversary opening of the first railway station, which was officially opened in 26 June during the year of 1860. Across on the right, we have the Cream building. That is where the first security department, as well as the Metro Police offices, used to be located on this Cream building. That's why you can still see the old Durban emblem, as well as the helmet pasted on top of the building. Currently the building it serves as a fast food restaurant, the vintage clothing shop, as well as the logistical company office. It used to be the first security department, as well as the Metro Police office. So the current Durban emblem is shaped like an umbrella. That is the current Durban emblem. Right, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to ask questions. If you have any questions along the way, you just signal me with your hand. Then I will come and take your question. Now, Transnet. Across on the left, you see those brown brick buildings with the blue roof. That is called by the Queen's Warehouse. These are the oldest buildings inside here, the Durban port. With the Queen's Warehouse, it deals with bulk containerized items, bulk cargo, all those bulk containerized items. So it's called by the Queen's Warehouse. Now, all right, this is the Point Community Court. This is a court that focuses on gender-based violence, related cases, child maintenance, harassment, and those types of related cases. It has been recently constructed, so it's called by the Point Community Court, and it is operating now. On the left across, there's a ship called by the Grimaldi Lights. That ship it takes cars, buses, trucks, tractors, containers as well. It has docked near the Durban car terminal, located on the left-hand side. Most of the ships, they are normally reaching the city where they are coming from. For example, the one on the left, it is reaching Napoli. Alright, the Durban car terminal starts on the left, and then it ends there on the 11 o'clock direction, where there is a cream ship with a blue stripe at the bottom. The trains on the left, those trains, we call them by the car carrier trains. These are the trains that are transporting cars from inland all the way down here to the Durban port. So those trains are called by the car carrier trains, located across down the left. On our left, across, we are having the Durban Rural Terminal. The Durban Rural Terminal was named after the term roll in as well as roll out of cars. It has a capacity of taking more than 40,000 cars. These are brand new cars, imports as well as export cars. Whenever cars they come out from the ship, this is where they wait before they go to the final destination. Before the cars they go to the ship, this is where they wait as well. So this is the waiting zone for imports as well as export cars. It has a capacity of taking more than 40,000 cars. On the 11 o'clock direction, you see the tallest building with the round at the top. That round structure, it is an Italian restaurant called by the Roma Golf Restaurant, which is sitting there on top of the building called by the John Ross House. The John Ross House is a private residential building, which is a 32-story building. you can visit the Roman Golden Restaurant that is sitting there on top of the building. It gives you a panoramic view if you are sitting behind that hall, and it revolves in a very slow motion in such a way that you can't feel it. There is the restaurant there on top of the building. Right here on our left, this is the main entrance to the Roro terminal. We can't tell which cars that are going out or coming in. We notice most of the left-hand drive cars. Those are the ones that are being sent out. Right now, we are driving on a street called by Margaret Mtadi. It used to be known as Victoria Embankment. Margaret Mtadi, she was one of the ladies that marched against the pass law to Union Building in the year of 1956 on the 9th of August. That's why in South Africa we are having a public holiday called by the Women's Day. We are commemorating the role of those brave women who marched against the pass law to Union Building in the year of 1956 on the 9th of August. Mama Grace Mtadi, she was part of those ladies. That's why in South Africa we are having a public holiday which is called by the Women's Day. We are commemorating the role of those brave women who marched against the pass law to Union Building during the time of the apartheid era in the year of 1956 on the 9th of August. So this street, it used to be known as Victoria Embankment. Number of streets around here in the city central, they have been renamed. As we drive through the city central, I'll keep on highlighting the street name changes. On our left, this is the South African Receiver of Revenue Building. Sorry, South African Revenue Services Building. So it is the SARS building that deals with customs and excise duties. Right on the left across, there is the second tallest building. There is a round there at the top. There is an Italian restaurant called by the Overport restaurant, which you can also visit. It is sitting on top of the building called by the John Ross House. The John Ross House is a private residential building named after the young Scottish boy called by Mr. John Ross. So Mr. John Ross at the age of 15, he traveled the distance from here to the Lagoa Bay, which is currently known as Maputo, to look for medical supplement as well as for the shift treatment for the European settlers who are settling here in Natal. There is station on the right, so the building is named after him. Under the letters, Richard John Ross House, there's a lift that will take you straight all the way up to the top to the Roma Revolving Restaurant. You enter under those letters, there are written John Ross House. On the left across, we have the colorful painting building. There is the Bethel Art Center, one of the creative art center. That is where you can watch live performance theater there at the Bethel Art Center. On the left across, we have the cream building with the red roof. That is called by the Port Natal Maritime Museum. There is a museum that is there to exhibit the history of the port. They charge an entrance fee of 10 Rand per adult and 5 Rand per child to enter there the Port Natal Maritime Museum. If you are visiting the museum, you go inside, you get a chance to go inside this old dredging ship, visiting the exhibition room as well, to learn more about the history of the port, the first ship that arrived during the early stages here at the Durban port. So the museum, it's called by the Port Natal Maritime Museum. They are open 7 days per week. Alright, on the left, we're going to be passing the man on the horse. His name is called by Mr. Dick King. Mr. Dick King, he was a British trader during the time of the colonial era. Remember in the 1910 in South Africa, we used to have 4 colonial provinces: the Cape Colony, the Natal Colony, the Transvaal Colony, and the Orange River Colony. This province was known as the Natal Colony. It was colonized by the British and the Cape. The Transvaal and the Orange River were colonized by the Afrikaners. When the Afrikaners came down here in the city of Durban, they sent the British army camp, and the British power was in the threat. So this man on the horse, he managed to escape and rode a horse from here to Grahamstown in 10 days' time to look for backup from the fellow army British brothers. He was accompanied by the young Zulu 7 called Faudong. That's why below the stage you'll see 2 men riding horse from here to Grahamstown in 10 days' time on the horse. There's a museum here in the city central called by Overport. It has that history. That's where the British army camp used to be located. Now right, the dark brown building with a green roof, this is called by the Durban Manor Hotel. This used to be the gentleman's club. This is where gentlemen used to meet and those names that were only related to gentlemen. That's where private and court began now. Mostly this is the gentlemen's name in the but it's just military. Right to the left, we have the courtyard club or the courtyard hall. There is a couple of yachts, ranging from social yachts, private yachts, fishing yachts. So the place is called by the courtyard hall or the courtyard club. Right, if you are visiting the Durban port, this is where you enter here on our left hand side. This is where you find service providers for boat crew. This is where you can enjoy 1 hour boat ride, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 2 hours, customized boat ride inside here at the port. You see these guys that are wearing white t-shirt, blue, black, gray, red. They are representing boat cruise companies. Whenever you come here at the port, they will approach you because they are earning a commission by bringing clients to their boat cruise company. That's how they earn a commission. That's why they are sitting here at the gate. They are waiting for incoming visitors so that they will approach them and take them to their boat cruise company. So the Durban port, it is also one of the attractions here in the city of Durban. You can enjoy the boat ride inside here at the Durban port. You can visit a number of eateries, enjoying your lunch. There is nice avenue. It's part of the restaurant or eateries that are located inside here at the Durban port. On our right, we're having the Durban High Court, which is under renovation, located here on our right hand side. On the left hand side across, we have those red and the white steel structures. Those are called by tower cranes. They are there to offload as well as loading containers. There the Durban Container Port Terminal, which is located across on the left hand side. Inside here the port, we have those red and the green markers. We call them by the boys, the marker boys. They are navigating small as well as big craft downs whenever they are traveling inside here the port. The boys, they're always in the deeper section. No matter if tide are low or high, they're always in the deepest level to ensure that whenever ships are traveling inside here, they don't get stuck in the sea sand. You can see there's a low tide current, you can see the sea sand, but ships are still able to travel between those markers. The streets that we're living here on our left, if you continue, to take you straight to the south. You see there across on the far left, those red roof houses over there. It is the Bluff suburb area, which is part of the south region of Durban. The city of Durban is divided into 4 sub-regions. There's a central, there's a south, there's a west, and then there's a north. On this tour, we are only doing the city central region. In the south region of Durban, you'll find places such as Umkaba, Manzimtut, Mumbu, Mnenidem, Namontville, Viewpoint, Wentworth, Umlazi township. Those are the areas that are part of the south region of Durban. Right now, we are driving on the street, which is called by Joseph Blue. The street used to be known as Russell Street. This whole area, it is called by the Russell suburb area. This is the area that is dominated by the residents, which is our brothers and sisters from Nigeria, Mozambique, Zimbabweans, Somalians, Congolese, as well as other nations. Those are the dominant residents around here in the Russell suburb area. And those are the dominant business owners around the here as well here in the Russell suburb area. So this whole area is called by the Russell suburb area. You'll also find student residential apartments as well, located around here in the Russell suburb area. So now we're just going to be driving through the Russell suburb area. Alright, the following crossing street here in front is called by Anton It's one of the streets which has been renamed. It used to be known as the Smith Street. So now it's called by Anton Lebede Street. Called named after Anton Lebede, who was once a lawyer by profession, was once the president of the ANC Youth League as well. So the street is called by Anton Lebede Street. It used to be known as the street. The following street is called by Dr. It used to be known as the street. So now it's called by Dr. Pink. So these two Bottom Street. These are the two oldest and the longest streets within the city central. They start from the beginning of the city central and then they go all the way down to the beachfront here. On our left up on the hill, it is the University of KwaZulu-Natal. There is a Howard campus. It is nested there up on the hill. The following crossing street, it's called by Dr. Pixley Sarah Simon. It used to be known as West Street. So these two oldest to the longest streets within the city central, they start from the beginning of the city central and then they go all the way down to the beachfront area. It tells you how long are these road streets. So if you looking through the passage you're now right, you can see the street, it goes all the way down to the beachfront area. It tells you how long it is a street. Now left and side, we have the old Durban cemetery, which is also known as the West Street Cemetery. These are the oldest cemetery within the city central. Inside the old Durban cemetery, you'll find a separate one for the Muslim community. The one for the Muslim community, you will see with the big white domes with the gold colors at the top. There is the separate one for the Muslim community, located inside here the old Durban cemetery, which is also known as the West Street Cemetery, located here on our left hand side. On our right, we are heading here the right brick building. It's called by the Saint Stephen Academy. It is also known as the Mother Church. This is one of the Roman Catholic church. This is where finding real Jennifer as well as Jennifer. The center is here to the making of the 23 years of this existence in the location. Right there on the fourth traffic light, on the left there is an entrance to the Muti market, which is a traditional medicinal market. That is where you find traditional medicinal practitioners such as the head healer, the soothsayer, as well as the spiritual healer. That is where you find the glittering potions, the potions for good luck, the love potions as well. Between those two traffic lights there on the left. So if you're unfortunate when it comes to betting, you want to optimize your betting life, you'll get in Salamosi to bet there at the Muti market. If you're unfortunate when it comes to relationship, you want to strengthen your relationship a little bit, they'll give you a love potion there at the Muti market. So there is a traditional medicinal market. On our right, we have the green building with a pink color. It's called by the Victoria Market. It has more than 40 stores, ranging from jewelry stores, 5 stores that became traditional outfits, radio and arts and craft, ready-mix spices, to cook them as curry or for barbecue as well. But again, those spices being sold inside here in the Victoria Market. Right now, we are driving on a street called Baupeta Keys. It has been renamed, it used to be known as Victoria Street. But them and I, they don't use none of those names. They call the street by what they use. Due to the number of clothes are being sold on the ground and the pavement area. Whenever you buy these clothes, you have to bend down and take them from the ground. So in Zulu, if you are bending down and showing us your leg, you say we are doing it. That's why the street is popular known as Squad and News. So today it's very quiet. Come during the weekdays, Friday, Saturday, it's very even hard to walk on the pavement due to the number of vendors that are selling clothes on the pavement area. So it's popular known as Squad and News. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take a 3-minute water break. I'll be back after 3 minutes. Thank you. It's called by the workshop. And it used to be the city central trade workshop. You see that white pole with the red and the green color? That used to be the trade traffic control. The workshop used to be the place where trade used to be placed. Now it's a popular shopping center here in the city of Central Inanda. This is where people they meet up. Even if they don't know each other, because now most people have taxis and buses, the buses here at the workshop. So that's where a lot of people they meet up even if they are not familiar with the city. So it's a very popular spot here in the city central, so it's called by the workshop. The red brick building there also used to form the part of the old train station. Now it's a home of a private educational institution called by the Berea College of Technology. On our left hand side, we are having the Cream building. This is the biggest regional post office. This used to be our town hall before the opened 1910, so now it serves as the biggest regional post office. On our right, we have the Allen Francis Farewell Square Garden. At the Allen Francis Farewell Square Garden, you'll find the statue of Queen Victoria, the statue of the first Prime Minister of Natal, including the Wall of Honor that's honoring all the soldiers that died during the Anglo-Boer War. In front of the Allen Francis Farewell Square Garden, we have the Durban City Hall. The Durban City Hall was designed by the man that was called by Stanley Hudson. Stanley Hudson was inspired by the City Hall that was located in Belfast, Northern Ireland. Durban City Hall serves as an administrative hub for our city mayor as well as for our city manager. And this is where you'll find the offices. This is a replica of the City Hall that is located in Belfast, Northern Ireland. It looks exactly like the one that is located here, as well as the Science Museum located inside here at the Durban City Hall. The Science Museum, it is the smallest and the most visited museum inside here at the Durban City Hall. And it's one of the places of interest that you can visit. It is a free admission museum located inside here at the Durban City Hall. On our right, we have the Crib building with a dark green roof. That is the old historical museum. It's also known as the Old Courthouse Museum. That is a museum that has documented the rituals from the city of Durban to exhibit the people that they call them by the moving shakers, people who contributed toward the development of the city of Durban. So they are called by the move and shakers. You'll also find the old pharmacy, old businesses being exhibited there at the old historical museum, including John Dunn house. John Dunn, it's also exhibited there, John Dunn village, there at the old historical museum. Also Naked Nakasa house, who was a journalist during the time of the apartheid era. He was from Chesterfield. He died in exile. So also it is exhibited there. He used to write a number of stories about townships, cattlemen of Kumban, where during the time of the riot, where there was a clash between the Africans and the Indians. The formation of the township during the year of 1950, when the Group Areas Act was passed. So he used to cover those types of articles. So he was from Chesterfield. So his history and his work is also exhibited there at the Old Historical Museum, so which is one of the places of interest that you can visit as well. And then here on our left, this is the South African Reserve Bank. This is the Regional Reserve Bank. There is a National Reserve Bank, which is located in Pretoria. This one it serves on the regional level, so it monitors the flow of money or the movement of money within the region. So it's known as the South African Reserve Bank. So the National Reserve Bank, it's located at Pretoria. Alright, on the left as we're going to be crossing, we will see the straight wall with the two towers at the corner. Those corners that are made with the brown bricks. Those used to be the security guard tower. There is a wall that signify or for the old apartheid prison that used to be located here in the location. There is all of an old apartheid prison that used to be located here in the location, which was later demolished and later put into Westville, where it is currently known as the Westville New Prison. Then the ICC was constructed as an indoor arena as well as a convention center. The underground area, there used to be a cell, now converted into the factory. There used to be prison cells. In 1997, it was officially opened by Dr. Nelson Mandela indoor arena as a convention center. In 2007, it was renamed as the Nkosi Chief Albert Luthuli Complex. The Nkosi Chief Albert Luthuli was one among South Africans who received the Peace Nobel Prize, and also he was once the president of the African National Congress. The ICC has a capacity of taking up to 10,000 attendees. It has hosted a number of remarkable events, such as the COP17, the World Economic Forum, the Tourist Winter, World AIDS Conference, the Crown Gospel Award, the Metro FM Award, as well as many more notable international level events that have took place inside here in the Durban ICC, including hosting solo artists performing inside here in the Durban ICC. The ICC has been awarded more than 20 times in the African Travel Award as the best African Convention Center. It has also scooped a number of prestigious awards for successfully hosting local level as well as international level events. On the left, this is the main entrance to the ICC. These events that are displayed at the entrance on those glasses, those are some of the events that have took place inside here at the Durban ICC. Next to the ICC, we have the Hilton Hotel. The Hilton Hotel, it is a 5-star hotel forming part of the best hotels around here in the city of Durban. Well, the hotel is called by the Hilton Hotel. It was closed down, remember, during the time of the COVID-19, when we have a level alert 1, a level alert 2. They decided to close it down at that time. Now it is back and functioning, it has been reopened. But it was closed down, so they just reopened it in the month of September in the year of 2024. Alright, across on the right, you see those tall lights over there. There is the King Smith Cricket Stadium, which is the home for our Durbanite cricket team, Overport and Wolfie. On the far left-hand side, there is a big HIV and AIDS ribbon there on the far left. There is the park called by the Gugu Dlamini Park, named after the lady from KwaMashu, Gugu Dlamini. Gugu Dlamini, she was the first one in the township of KwaMashu during the year of 1998 to disclose HIV and AIDS status in public. For doing so, she was stoned to death by the guys who were sitting at the tavern. At that time, there wasn't much education about the transmission of the HIV and AIDS because they thought she was positive. And then she was stoned to death. They thought that she was going to transmit the disease by just touching, by just passing. Then they decided to stone her to death. Earlier, I think it was last year in December, during the beginning of December, Head Water was interviewed by one of the radio stations. There is a foundation called by the Kundamini Foundation, run by Head Water in the old house that they used to use, where they used to stay. Now they are utilizing to do a care center for HIV and AIDS people as well as other community programs. On the right, we have Passport Museum, which used to be an old native administrative building during the time of the apartheid era. It exhibits the history of the removal of African formation of the township, the Durban system that used to recruit African to job listing. So now it is a museum. It used to be work like Home Affairs back in the day. On the right, we have the old army military cemetery. On the left, we have those white stones. There is a temple called by Washembe Temple, known as Uduatole Temple. Washembe Church, it is one of the biggest African churches, one of the biggest African churches, which has more than 1 million followers. The church is rooted into Christianity belief as well as to African beliefs. The members of the church, they attend congregations on Saturdays, not on Sundays. They normally choose an outdoor sport. The outdoor sport will be fenced by white stone and then it will be called by a temple. If you are a member of the church, you are not allowed to shave your beard or to shave your hair. You are not allowed to have pets in your house as well. You are not also allowed to eat pork meat as well. You also are not allowed to eat warm food or touch warm water from Friday afternoon until Saturday afternoon. There is the Sabbath rule. There are certain months in the year where you should not eat a bread and food. In the month of January, during the beginning of the January, the church take a holy walk up to the mountain every year during the beginning of January. So when they take a walk for number of days and God have services there. There is a strong belief that you'll be a member of the church. Members, they believe that the church spirit can be able to liaise with their ancestors, their own ancestors. Like for example, if your ancestor is seeking forgiveness, he passed away while in conflict, then he's able to get a forgiveness via the church by giving a donation and then able to liaise with the church spirit is able to liaise with your ancestors and ask for forgiveness. So there is a strong belief that it is able to link the people that are living with those who passed away, as well as cleansing them for those who died in accident as well. On the right, this is the long distance minibus taxi ride. This one is called by the car ride. Travel from here to the other cities such as Victoria, Emela, Kakuna, Whitbank, from here to Mozambique, places such as Puto, Swaziland, Zimbabwe, Harare as well. You get those minibus taxis there at the car ride minibus taxi ride. There is the minibus taxi ride that caters the commuters. So it's called by the car ride minibus taxi. Alright. Alright, we are going to the City View Shopping Center now. This is where we are going to stop for 30 minutes. That's where you'll be able to buy refreshments, and you'll also be able to utilize the restrooms there at the City View Shopping Center. There's KFC, there is Debonair's, there is Carlitos, there is Wimpy, there is ShopRite, as well as other retails where you can buy ice cream at the main entrance. So you're gonna be spending 30 minutes there to buy refreshments and to use the restrooms. Right here on our left, we have the car boot flea market. This is the popular flea market, which is taking place on every Sundays here on the location. So it's called by the car boot flea market. They are selling various items or different items here at the car boot flea market, ranging from home appliances as well as other different items. So the market is called by the car boot flea market. It's taking place on every Sundays here in the location. There is a bin there at the back of the bus that you can use it to throw your litter. Please don't throw litter under your chairs. Use garbage bin or plastic bags to throw your litter. Then when you stop, then you can throw it to the garbage. Right. Alright, now we are starting the second session of the tour. Now we're gonna be driving through the Durban suburb area, which is the Berea, the Morningside, as well as the Overport. The Morningside suburb area, we are going to have a 10-minute break stop at a place called by the Cube, which is the open landscaping viewpoint, which will be giving us a better wider view of the city of Durban, as well as key iconic features within the city of Durban. After that, we're gonna continue drive through Florida Road, past Mitchell Park Zoo, drive through Florida Road, all the way down to the Most Mavida Stadium, passing the Most Mavida Stadium, as well as the Kings Park Stadium. Right, remember to keep your eyes open. 3 branches, the NSMI to the bus, especially where we are going in the Durban suburb area. Please keep your eyes open. Some of the 3 branches, they are in the same height with the bus. For those that are wearing caps, hats, please ensure that you fasten your caps as well as your hats. If your cap or hat is blown out by the wind, you won't be able to stop because you might cause traffic or cause an accident. Remember, whenever you communicate, you don't speak loud. You'll try to speak soft as much as you can. Right, we have officially started the second session of the tour. On our left, we have the home of the independent newspapers. This is where independent newspapers are being printed on our left-hand side. Independent newspapers such as the Solesware, the Post, the Mercury, the Sunday Tribune as well. On our right, we are having the Grey Willows Racing Course. This is where one of the biggest annual events called by the Durban July. The Durban July, it is taking place inside the Durban July. It has become a fashion show event, great promotion, horse racing, taking place on the 3rd Saturday of the month of July, each and every year inside here the Grey Willows Racing Course. Inside the Grey Willows Racing Course, we have the Durban Round of one of the finest golf courses over the Durban. On the far right, we have the white building with the red roof. Next to that white building with the red roof, we have the forest area. It is called by the Durban Botanical Garden. It is a home of plants, already from indigenous as well as exotic plants. The place is called by Durban Botanical Garden. We're going to be driving on the far right, up there on those suburb areas, the Berea, the Morningside, as well as the Overport. On our right hand side, we are having the white bridge. On top of the white bridge, this is the notice board for the Grey Willows Racing Course. This is what it notices us is there's going to be a race, including the daylight race as well as the night races, which are taking place inside here at the Grey Willows Racing Course. On our left, we're having the 18th Street Indian Heritage Center. This is the center that has documented the history of the Indian community. It exhibits the history of the arrival of the Indian community in South Africa, their culture, their belief, as well as time of arrival. So it's called by the 1860 Indian Heritage Center. It is in line with the 1860 Settlers Memorial Hall. This is one of the centers which has a very rich history that you can visit as well around here in the beautiful city of Durban. Right, we're gonna be leaving the city central as we are heading up to the Durban suburb area. Now we are joining the street called by Dr. Yusuf Dadu. The street, it used to be known as Ukraine Street, so now it's called by Dr. Yusuf Dadu. On our right, we have the purple building with a lime color. This is called by the female hostel. This is a female hostel that only caters female residents. Whenever a man is visiting, they normally place him at the waiting room, then attending can go. For the hostel, it only caters female residents. So it's called by the Toza Female Hostel. This area is located here. It used to be known as the Indian quarter. Number of businesses, they used to be dominated by the Indian people. for all these buildings around here. So now we have these business owners around here. Right, we're gonna be leaving the city central. We are going to join the street ahead called by Dr. David Webster. Dr. David Webster, you are an anti-apartheid activist as well as a senior lecturer at the University of Witwatersrand under the faculty of anthropology. You are later assassinated. On the crossing street ahead was named after him Dr. David Webster, who was an anti-apartheid activist as well as a senior lecturer at the University of Witwatersrand under the faculty of anthropology. So now we're going to leave the city central as we are heading to the Durban suburb area. We're going to be joining Dr. David Webster. Dr. David Webster will take us all the way up to N3. N3 is the getaway street from the city central, which can take us all the way up to Johannesburg, to Pietermaritzburg, which is the capital city of KwaZulu-Natal, as well as to the west region of Durban. In the west region of Durban, we find places such as the Valley of Thousand Hills. In the Valley of Thousand Hills, that is where you can explore the rich culture of the Zulu in the small Zulu villages that are nested there in the Valley of Thousand Hills. In the Valley of Thousand Hills, you can visit places such as the KwaZulu Safari. At the KwaZulu Safari, we find the Ricksha Park. It is where you get a chance to see crocodile, snakes, lizards that are found at the KwaZulu Safari. It is where you can enjoy the safari and the drive. You can also enjoy the steam train tour. The choo-choo train is taking place on every last Sunday in the month as well as during special holidays. Engage steam train tour or the choo-choo train tour is taking place there in the Valley of Thousand Hills. You can visit the Valley of Thousand Hills via riding the train known as the steam train tour or the choo-choo train tour. You can also visit the Shongweni West Town Square shopping center, recently constructed. It was officially opened last year in the month of March, located there at Shongweni. You can visit the Shongweni Farmers Art and Craft Market, taking place on every Saturday. That's where they sell organic items, different types of organic items, food, as well as different types of items. So it's called by the Shongweni Farmers Art and Craft Market, taking place on every Saturdays there at Shongweni. Alright, now we are leaving the city central. We are going to drive over the bridge. The bridge is called by the flyover or the crossover bridge. The reason why the bridge is called by the flyover or the crossover bridge is because it crosses over type of infrastructure. It is located on the left and the right bottom of the bridge. So that's why the bridge is called by the flyover or the crossover bridge. Right, on the left bottom there is a Berea train station, cater the township community with a train connectivity. On the far left, you have that right across the road. There is the beauty market, the one that is cited area within the city central. On the left bottom, we have the great village, called by the Early Market. Fruit and veg market was named after its early operational powers. Across, we have an English market. Across the English market, we have those three brown arc-shaped silo buildings. That is where Fan Sugar Terminal. That is where brown sugar is being processed. Each of those silos, they contain 500,000 tons of sugar, which is exported out from the country. We also have those towers that are written as ABT. That stand for South African Bank Terminal. That is where we store that grain which is exported out from the country. The whole area at the bottom is popularly known as the market due to the number of markets that are found around this area. On the far left, there is SABT, stand for South African Bank Terminal. Alright, the speed of the bus will increase as you are joining with N3. Please fasten your caps as well as your hats. The speed of the bus is increasing. So now we are heading to the Berea suburb area. suburb area. This whole area is called by the Berea suburb area. It's also one of the oldest suburb areas here in the city of Durban. The word Berea is derived from the Bible, the Berea from the Bible. So the area is called by the Berea suburb area. There isn't nothing much, there's not much activities or attractions around here in the area. But it's also one of the oldest suburb areas here in the city of Durban. So it's called by the Berea. If you are continuing entering, you'll pass communities, Chesterfield, Petomena, Westville, New German, Pinetown, Klub, Marakil, Bandenges, Wasanti, Hillcrest, Horace Hill, Drymont, Montas Hill, Caterich, Hammersdale, Waklimba. Those are the communities that are part of the West region of Germany. So if you're continuing with the street, it will take you to those communities that are part of the West. Alright, we're now going to drive over the bridge here in front. And the bridge is called by the toll gate bridge. During the time of the colonial government, each and every car, including wagons, they were charged a toll fee in this area. That's why this bridge is called by the toll gate bridge. It is there to commemorate the old toll that used to be located here in the area. On the far left, we have that big light green dome there. There is a promenade shopping center. There is a second largest shopping center here in the beautiful city of Durban. Also the first largest shopping center, which is called by the Gateway, located in the north region of Durban. Also the second largest shopping center, which is the Pavilion, the one that we have cited, which is the second largest shopping center here in the city of Durban. And then the third largest shopping center is called by the Gavela, located in the south region of Durban. We also have recently constructed shopping center, not yet rated. There is an Ocean Mall, which is located at Inanda, which has been recently constructed. It has a number of retailers that are selling international clothing brands, such as Versace, Roberto Armani, also Gabbana, as well as other international clothing brands located there in the Ocean Mall, as well as high-class Italy, which are also located there in the Ocean.
Every moment with you feels just right. Whisper your name in the rush of the breeze. Love like an ocean rippling with ease. Heartbeats sink into this melody. You and I forever, wild and free. Hands collide like waves on the shore. Every touch leaves me craving more. Eyes meet, worlds' colors collide with you. Love's where I reside. Whisper your name.
Where a number of European settlers were buried. Up there on the left-hand side, in the St. Thomas Chapel, or in the St. Thomas Cemetery, including Virginia Gardner, who was the daughter of Princess Valentine, who was also buried. Right now we are driving through the Overport area, and this whole area is called by the Overport. Due to financial constraint, it was later connected into the hospital. It is a private hospital that specializes in breast treatment located here on the left-hand side. Right now, we are through the Overport suburb area. This whole area is called by the Overport suburb area. Now, right here, the waterfront shopping center will cater the Overport residents with a shopping experience. Shopping center is called by the Art Park Shopping Center. Around here in the area, you'll notice number of retailers that are selling Indians as well as Muslim garments located around here at the Overport suburb area. You'll also notice number of Muslim institutions such as the educational institutions, the regulatory bodies located around here in the Overport suburb, including number of international banks such as the Al-Baraka Bank, the State Bank of India, the HPZ Bank, they are big overseas international banks located around here. These banks, they also cater to Muslims, they have Muslim specific accounts, those Muslims accounts, they cater to the Muslim people who are part of the Muslim religion. It is in line with the Muslim religion. It is taken from the Quran, Bible, so the practice is only in such belief that whenever you have someone who is not expecting to any event, for example, if they have a bank account, they're not expecting to receive an increase in their bank account. If they receive a certain interest, they give it away, which must be donated somehow to the needy. So these banks, they have the low interest caters or caters the Muslim religion or the belief. So mostly I utilize those things that are located. So this suburb area is known as the Overport. It is mostly dominated by the Muslim residents. Those are the dominant residents around the Overport suburb area. We are driving on the streets called Peter Mokaba Ridge. It used to be known as Ridge Road. So now it's called by Peter Mokaba Ridge. Area the Overport suburb area. Right there on the left hand side we have the building where you'll find the offices of the National Halal Independent Trust, which is the regulatory body that regulates fast food tourism. The Halal Independent Trust, it is in line with the Muslim religion. They look from raw material to finished product. For example, in an abattoir, there must be a prayer room before they slaughter the animal. They must pray before they slaughter. So it is in line with the Muslim religion. So this body looks from raw material. For example, in a fast food restaurant, they look where they sauce and their meat. Where they sauce the meat, is it the Muslim religion being practiced? If it is not, they do not certify the eatery or the butchery or the abattoir. In order for them to be certified, it must be the practice, must be in line with the Muslim religion. So it's called by the Halal Independent Trust. People who are part of the Muslim religion, the first thing when they enter into the restaurant or the butchery, they look for Halal certificate. If they don't see the Halal certificate, it's not fine because the area is not Halal certified. It must be Halal certified for them in order to buy an item there. So that body does regulating those fast food eateries, abattoirs, that's called by the Halal Independent. Right up on the hill we have that big round infrastructure that is called by the King Hospital. It used to be known as the King George Hospital. It is a hospital that specializes on TB or tuberculosis illness. Located there on the far left. On the 11 o'clock direction, there on the far left there is a mist. There on the very far left, you see there is a fire mist. Those are the townships that are part of the north region of Durban. Those townships, we call them by the King economic, that is Phoenix, Itoso, and the Promenade. Those townships are from the north region of Durban. The Phoenix township, the township is represented by the Indian community. Itoso, one of the biggest townships among the townships in the city of Durban, dominated by Africans. Inanda, you'll find Inanda Township Tourism Route. Inanda Township Tourism Route, it has been developed to cater local as well as international visitors. Number of freedom fighters, they are coming from Inanda. Babu Dr. John Langalbal Durban, who was the founder of the African National Congress, who was the founder of the first Zulu newspaper called by Ilan. His house is at Inanda. It has been converted to the public museum. Where our first democratic president, Dr. Mandela, decided to cast his vote during the first historical election. Mahatma Gandhi's house is between Inanda and the Phoenix Center. So his house has been converted to the public museum as well. So it's one of the places of interest of his visits. Then there's Lord Betham Kizer's house, not yet converted to the public museum. There's Dr. Pixley Sarasem, who was also one of the founders of the African National Congress, as well as the ideologist behind the formation of the African National Congress. His house is also part of Inanda as well as some other leaders and their houses are coming from Inanda. So Inanda Township Tourism Road, you find Mahatma Gandhi's house, Dr. John Mbeku's house, Umsinya's Sacred Waterfront, Inanda Dam, the Octavia Hotel, the Silowazi Guest House, as well as the Social Center, and the Wifini accommodation. Those are some of the spots. Shepherd Settlement, Shepherd Church, when Shepherd Church was found, you also find it there in that as well. So another township tourism project, the tourism project, that is open for both public and international as well as local visitors. Wamatu Township, which is another township that has name of House and National Temple. It used to be a school to a green plantation farm. So in Tono, one means the place for. So people used to say Township to show the episodes as well, which is one of the popular telenovela or soap that is playing on our SABC channel. So they use some of the spots in Durban Township to show the episode as well. You also find the house of the late King of Military. The house is called by Belebe. Belebe is the name of the regiment of the late King of Military. Here the famous of the late King of Military. Area known as Overport. The area is opposite to the hostel in Durban. Remember during the time of the hostel, during the time of the apartheid era, hostel, females were not allowed to reside or stay in hostel. So whenever a female is visiting his husband, you'll spend 14 days in those houses. After 14 days, you need to go out. So you register to spend 14 days with your wife there. That's why the section of Kwamashu houses is known as Wabo 14. Those houses are small houses, they look like matchbox houses. Alright, on our right, if you look through the passage of house number 125 and 129, there's a big cream white house with a red roof with a small cream white dome at the top. Then house before 1994, it used to be known as the King's House due to the number of international kings. When they visited here in the city of Durban, they were overnighting in that house. After 1994, the house was declared as a state house. Whenever the president of the Republic of South Africa comes into KwaZulu-Natal, we overnight in that house. For those that are sitting at the back, the bus will move slow so that you'll be able to see the house as well. You see the big Kumite house with the red roof, with a small Kumite dome at the top. There are a number of buildings that are surrounding the house. It's just that you cannot see well from this angle. But there are a number of buildings within the same yard. So there is a state-owned house, which is also known as the presidential house. So it is quite a very big yard with a number of buildings within it. On our left, this is the Berea Bush Forest. This is one of the protected forests within the city central. It is about 55 hectares of land. It has nature hiking trails, picnic spots, species such as barbed monkeys, as well as number of bird species. So the forest is called by the Berea Bush Forest. On our left, we are looking at the very far left hand, where you see the most tallest buildings. That is where we'll find the Planga suburb area. You see where there is a mist there on the far left, where there is the most tallest buildings. That is where we'll find Planga suburb area. Find the Gateway Shopping Center, the Starbucks Hotel, the Beverly Hill Hotel, the Radisson Blue, Mhlanga P, one of the new pyramid shaped like the one of the world, the Kensington Sharks Board, the Legacy Yard to Chatsworth Drive. It's one of the places of interest to Mhlanga suburb area that you can visit as we are around here in the city of Durban. The left bottom, that is called Bamgen Estuary, where there is a crossing bridge. That's where Mgeni River intersects with an Indian Ocean. Mgeni River flows all the way from Drakensberg Mountain all the way down here to interact with the Indian Ocean. These suburbs that are part on our left hand side is uShaka, La Lucia, Messi, Riverside, Durban North, Mount Antwerp, Berea and Morningside. Those are the suburbs that are part of the north region of Durban, which are located here on our left hand side. Right, also in the north region of Durban, you'll find the Ricksha International Airport, which is direct international flights route, as well as domestic flights route dedicated to in this beautiful province of KwaZulu. Used to be known as Berea Road. Along the street, you'll find coffee spots, rest saloons, eateries, entertainment spots. Some of the eateries, they serve Durban popular cuisine, known as the Bunny Chow. So if you are here in the city of Durban and you haven't tasted the Bunny Chow, your tour is not complete. You need to try the Bunny Chow. It is a quarter of a bread, they put a spicy curry inside. It can be the lamb curry, beef curry, chicken curry, chicken curry, fish curry. One of the finest Durban popular cuisine. The Bunny Chow from here in Durban is not the same as the one in Johannesburg or Cape Town. This is where you get the best Bunny Chow here in Durban. This is where it was invented here in the city of Durban. So you need to try it as you are around here in the beautiful city of Durban. This is the open landscaping viewpoint. This area gives us a better wider view of the city of Durban as well as key iconic features within the city of Durban. In this area, there is an underground water reservoir. That underground water reservoir supplies the Morningside resident with water. The cube was branded about Durban tourism to just display activities that you can do while you're around here in the city of Durban. So this is a 10-minute break to cool ourselves on the shade and also to take pictures. When you are standing on the edge, that's where you get a better wider view of the city of Durban as well as key iconic features within the city of Durban. After 10 minutes, we're going to continue with our journey. So this is a 10-minute break to take pictures and also to cool ourselves. Thank you. There's a small mama, which is a record total number of best species. This is a popular campaign used by non-Durban national picnic, family gathering, social parties as well, called by the visual culture. Across on the right, there is a Jameson Park, named after Robinson Jameson. The Jameson Park is one of the pet-friendly parks, one of the parks that you can take a walk with your pet, which was named after Robinson Jameson. So the park is called by the Jameson Park. Right now, we are joining the Florida Road. Florida Road. This is one of the lifestyle streets here in the city of Durban. This is the street which is going under a huge redevelopment or revamping as well as rebranding. So it's called Florida Road. Some of the residential apartments, some of the apartments that used to be residential apartments along the streets, they have been converted into commercial buildings in order to meet the demand of the commercial buildings along the street. Along the street, there's eateries, there's churches, there's one here on the left called by the Inside Church. Down on the street, there's the St. Joseph Catholic Church as well as the Olive Tree Church, which is also forming part of Florida Road as well. So you'll find high-class eateries serving various cuisines, Italian, French cuisine, Turkish food, as well as other international cuisines. You'll find eateries as well. Fashion boutiques, night sports. This is where you can explore or experience the Durban nightlife here in Florida Road. During the late night hours, the street becomes more busy. It's even hard to drive here on the street because a lot of people, this is where they come to enjoy their dinner, to dine and experience the Durban nightlife. So the street is protected by the organization, which is called by the UIP, which is the Urban Improvement Precinct Organization, which is there to ensure your safety while you are visiting the street. street which is called Florida Road. So this is the street where you can explore or experience the Durban nightlife, called Florida Road. On our left, this is the St. Joseph Catholic Church, which is also forming part of Florida Road as well. Forming part of the three churches that are located along the street, which is called Florida Road. And then across on the right, there is a park called Florida Park. There is a flea market that is currently taking place on every last Sundays of the month here at Florida Park. The iHeart Market that takes place here on every last Sundays of the month. So the park is designed by number of organized for basketball, volleyball, and poetry events. For the streets, it's called Florida Road, which where you can explore or experience the Durban nightlife. It is protected by the organization called by the UNP. As I've said, these guys are wearing cream pants, maybe shades with the orange color. They are there to ensure your safety while you are visiting the streets. Every night rugby team called by the Sharks. Next to the Kings Park, we have the most Mavida Stadium. Next up down is the most Mavida, was the Secretary General of the South African Conference Park. The left is the most Mavida Housing Stadium. This is where the Lamont got it. One was down there training, which is the Durban Football Club that plays national football. The left and the right, having the most Mavida Housing Stadium. There's a football game. It started at 15 between Amazon AFC as well as the Lamont Balcon. It started 10 minutes ago. So it is currently taking place here. So we'll see some of things there on the big screen here. So the stadium is currently going under upgrade or under renovations. They are busy renovating the stadium. Once the upgrade and renovations are done, you'll be able to enjoy the stadium tour, the Segway gliding tour, sitting down in the cafeteria, the big swing, the 7 big iconic art as well as the sky car. So on the right there's a Kings Park swimming pool, that is where our swimming athletes are training. It's also under renovation as well, the Kings Park. Division, and they are playing against the TS Gallants, which is, I think, from Mumala. is an army building. The right across, there is the Durban Country Club, one of the finest golf course, called by the Durban Country Club. Located there across on the right hand side. And then on the left, as we're going to be crossing, there is the Kings Park Athletic Stadium. That is where athletic competitions are taking place. Inside here, the Kings Park Athletic Stadium. This is where athletes their training right in the Kings Park Athletic Stadium. Now they are seeing the Kings Park Rugby Stadium, which is the home ground of the rugby team, which is Right, now we are to the Butler Drive. Butler Drive is taking us to the Lagoon. And this is the area whereby we can river intersects with the Indian Ocean. The Lagoon is a very popular area utilized by now for everyday pride, family gathering, picnics, and functions. Getting applause all the way from the Francisco Mountain, all the way down here to interact with the Indian Ocean. The Black Lagoon is also a popular fishing spot. This is where number of fishers they enjoy fishing. And this is where the stretch of the promenade starts. It starts from here all the way down to the Point waterfront area. It is estimated to 9 kilometers long. Alright, we are going back now to the point where we started our tour. That is where we're going to finish our tour. So we are going back now. Please fasten your caps, your heads. The speed of the bus will increase a little bit.